Hello and welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we are doing something a little bit, well, actually very different.
Yeah, completely different from our usual stuff.
Right, and frankly, I'm really excited about it. We usually tackle these massive, complex topics here. Global economics, the future of AI, the history of civilization.
Huge macro topic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But today, we are going completely the other way. We are going micro.
Very micro.
We're looking at the power of simple. Specifically, how a simple morning routine isn't just about hygiene or getting your caffeine fix.
Right.
It's actually a psychological engine for building confidence. And the twist here, we're looking at all of this through the lens of learning English.
Which is such a fascinating angle, and it's a pleasure to be here to unpack it with you.
Always great to have you. So in this deep dive, we are talking about a simple morning routine in easy English. You will learn useful daily words and practice speaking about your morning habits.
And really, this deep dive helps you build confidence step by step. Because if you practice every day, you just naturally feel more confident in English.
Yeah, and it sounds kind of counterintuitive at first, right? We usually think confidence comes from mastering really complex things.
Oh, absolutely. We think we need big academic words or complicated theories to sound smart. But the stack of sources we have today, which includes vocabulary lists, pronunciation optimization guides, and even some psychological research on habits, they argue the exact opposite.
Yeah, they really do.
They suggest that real confidence is actually built on a foundation of extreme simplicity.
It's that old idea that you have to walk before you run, but applied directly to your self-esteem and your language skills.
Exactly. The mission today is to unpack these sources to help you, the listener, especially if you're learning English or just trying to get a better handle on your day, understand why starting your day with simple declarative actions actually changes your brain chemistry.
It's powerful stuff. We are going to look at useful daily words, sure, but we're going to look at them as tools for psychological grounding.
Tools to anchor yourself.
Right, and I want to set the stage here because the tone of our source material is really interesting. It's not aggressive at all.
No, it's very gentle.
Yeah, it's not that intense hustle culture, wake up at 4 a.m., run a marathon, take an ice bath vibe that you see all over social media.
Not at all. It is very warm, very calm, and incredibly supportive. The materials are specifically designed for A1 to A2 level learners.
Which means the focus is on clarity.
Right. Clarity, short sentences, and everyday English. But there is a directive here that caught my eye immediately. The Pronunciation Optimization Guide explicitly warns against using corporate or academic language in your morning internal monologue.
Right, I actually have that note right here. It says to avoid words like productivity, discipline, or optimization.
Which is funny.
It is.
Yeah.
Because those are the exact buzzwords we usually live by in the professional world.
But instead, the source pushes for what it calls core verbs. Strong, simple words. Start, plan, do.
Start, plan, do.
The argument is that complex words create cognitive load. They require processing power. And when you're just waking up, you want zero friction.
Zero friction. You want words that feel like facts, not aspirations.
Exactly. Start, plan, do. It feels manageable.
It really feels doable. Yeah. So let's just get into the machinery of this. Let's dive into the first section of our sources, starting with the very basics, waking up and hygiene.
Let's look at the vocabulary source first. It starts with the most fundamental concept of all, morning.
Okay, let's unpack this. On the surface, morning is just defined as the early part of the day. But in the context of our topic knowledge source, it's framed a bit differently.
Right. It is not just a time on the clock. The source defines morning as the beginning. It frames it as a reset button.
A fresh start.
Exactly. It's when the sun comes up. And the very first action in the morning, according to our list, is wake up.
Wake up. I really like the rhythm of that. 2 words. Wake up. The definition here is just to stop sleeping.
Right.
And the example sentence provided is, I wake up at 7 a.m.
That is a classic example. I wake up at 7 a.m. Now, stop me if I am overanalyzing this, but there is something very specific about the rhythm of that sentence.
Oh, you're hitting on the pronunciation optimization source again.
I am. It highlights the sound patterns. Wake, up. It is percussive.
Yeah, it is a snap to it.
It's an activation sound. Compare that to saying something like, I am slowly regaining consciousness.
Huh. Yeah, one is a passive description, and the other is an active command. Wake up.
Exactly. And the example, I wake up at 7 a.m., it's a statement of fact.
Right.
We'll talk about the grammar a bit later, but psychologically, stating the exact time you wake up gives you the first win of the day. You are establishing a firm fact about your reality.
Okay, so we are awake. The source then goes immediately to hygiene. We have the words brush and shower.
Right. Brush is defined simply as to clean with a brush. And the example is I brush my teeth.
Nice and simple.
And then shower to wash the body with water. The example being I take a shower in the morning.
It sounds so mundane. It sounds like a normal day for billions of people.
Yeah.
But here is where it gets really interesting. Why are these simple actions in a deep dive about confidence?
Right.
Why does the source material elevate brushing your teeth to a confidence-building exercise?
That is the key question. And if we look at our topic knowledge source, it connects these physical actions directly to your mind. It says a routine is not just about cleaning your body.
It's about ritual.
Yes, ritualized behavior. When you do the same things every day, in the exact same order, you send a signal to your nervous system.
The source actually uses the word calm.
Exactly. Calm. And it says when you do these things, you feel in control.
In control. That is huge. The source basically argues that the outside world is chaotic.
Yeah.
But the act of brushing your teeth, that is entirely controllable.
Precisely. So saying I brush my teeth isn't just a basic English sentence. It is an affirmation of a habit.
And from a speaking perspective, look at the sound patterns the source mentions. Wake up, brush teeth.
Short, sharp sounds.
It's a rhythm. Wake up, brush teeth.
Yes, and the source encourages you, the listener, to really notice that rhythm. It is easy to say. It is easy to repeat.
And repetition builds that feeling of control.
Right. Because if you can say it perfectly, you feel competent. And if you feel competent at 7:05 a.m., you are much more likely to feel competent at 2 p.m.
So true. So you wake up, you clean up, and you feel calm. But a machine needs fuel.
It does.
Let's move to the next part of our stack here, fueling the body.
This is where we talk about food and drink. The vocabulary source gives us two very important words here. First up, breakfast.
Breakfast, defined as the first meal of the day. The example sentence is, I eat breakfast at home.
Simple enough.
And the second word, which I think is an absolute non-negotiable for about 90% of people listening.
Oh, without a doubt. Coffee.
Coffee. The definition is a hot drink that gives energy. The example is, I drink coffee every morning.
Let's stop on that word for a second. Energy.
Okay.
The source defines energy as the power to do things.
Power to do things.
Yeah.
I really like that definition. It's very active. It is not just feeling awake. It is having the actual capacity for action.
It is. And when we look at the grammar in these examples, I eat breakfast, I drink coffee, we see a very deliberate pattern. This is the present simple tense.
Yeah, the source makes a really big deal about this. Can you explain why it emphasizes the present simple tense here? Like, why not say, I am drinking coffee?
Because we are talking about a routine. We say I eat or I drink because these are things we do every single day.
Right.
It is not something you did just once yesterday. It is something you do always. It implies a stable reality.
That makes total sense. Makes the
yeah.
statement feel permanent. I drink coffee. It's part of who I am in the morning.
Correct. When you use the present simple to describe your morning, you are basically telling your brain, this is my life, this is my structure, it is not random.
And looking at the pronunciation optimization source, there's a great tip here for you listening. It says to keep sentences short, under 10 words.
Under 10 words. So instead of saying something like, I usually enjoy having a cup of coffee while I sit in my kitchen, we should say what?
I drink coffee at home.
I drink coffee at home. 5 words.
Simple.
Clear.
And the source also mentions avoiding difficult consonant clusters. Drink coffee is just much easier to say than something complex like brewing espresso.
Oh yeah, brewing espresso is tough.
Drink coffee flows nicely.
It really allows the speaker to focus on the truth of the statement rather than the gymnastics of the mouth. So we fueled the body, we have the energy. Now what do we do with it? Let's move to section 3. Moving and planning. The active mind.
This is interesting because we are shifting from the physical body to the brain. The first word in this section is stretch.
Stretch. The definition is to move your body to relax muscles. And the example is, I stretch for 5 minutes.
Stretching is a really great physical bridge to the next word, which is purely mental.
Plan.
Plan. Defined as to think about what you will do. The example given is, I plan my day in the morning. This brings us to the emotional vocabulary in our stack.
Yeah.
When you plan, how do you feel? The source gives us 2 words here, smile and positive.
Right.
A smile is defined as a happy face expression, and positive means good and hopeful. But I do have to play devil's advocate here for a second.
Sure.
Can simply planning really make you smile? Because for a lot of people, planning is incredibly stressful.
That is a very valid pushback. But look at the definition again. to think about what you will do. In the context of this simple philosophy, planning isn't about overwhelming yourself with a massive to-do list.
Okay.
It is about intentionality. The topic knowledge source says every morning is a new chance.
So it's about agency again.
Exactly.
When you say, I plan my day,
Yeah.
in simple English, you're taking that chance.
Yeah,
You'll be
but
taking control.
connect the sequence. You stretch, you wake up the body, you plant, you wake up the mind. And when you do that, you get what the source calls a positive morning.
Connects back to that aha moment we mentioned earlier. Planning plus simple English equals a positive mindset.
It does. It completely removes the stress. You know what you were doing. You have a plan. You are positive. And because the language is simple, I plan my day, you aren't intimidated by the complexity of the tasks ahead of you.
So we have the routine down. Wake up, brush, shower, eat, drink, stretch, plan. But what does this all mean for the big concept? The whole title of our deep dive is about confidence.
Right.
How do we get from I stretch to I am confident?
This brings us to the core philosophy of our source material. We need to strictly define confidence first.
The source defined confidence as feeling sure about yourself.
Feeling sure about yourself, that is a very powerful feeling. But how do you actually get it?
Right, you can't just snap your fingers.
Exactly. The source is very specific about the mechanism. It says confidence grows slowly. It comes from habit.
And habit is defined as something you do often.
Exactly. You cannot buy confidence. You build it.
Mm.
And you build it through another key word in our list, practice.
Practice. To do something again and again to get better. The example is, I practice English every day.
Notice the connection there. You have a habit of practice. And that creates confidence. It is a feedback loop.
You do the thing. You see yourself doing the thing.
And you believe you are the kind of person who does the thing.
I love the note in the dialogue behavior guide here. It says something very important for you listening. It says, small steps are okay.
That is critical. The source explicitly says to normalize mistakes. It says no judgment.
So if I say I eat coffee instead of I drink coffee, that is okay.
It is absolutely okay. The source argues that the attempt is way more important than the accuracy in the beginning. You are practicing the habit of speaking.
That is such a relief. Sometimes we feel like we need to use big, complicated words just to sound smart.
The topic knowledge source completely disagrees with that. It says simple sentences are powerful. Saying, I practice English for 10 minutes is a victory.
It's a fact.
Yes, it is true. And because you can say it clearly, you feel sure about yourself.
That is a great perspective. You don't need to write a novel. You just need to say what is true. I practice English.
And that builds the habit.
Okay, so we have all the pieces on the board. We have the vocabulary, the grammar, the philosophy. Now, I think it is time to put it all together. We have a dialogue example in our stack.
Yes, we do. This dialogue shows how all these components fit together in a natural conversation. It demonstrates that you can have a meaningful interaction using only these simple tools.
Let's act this out. I will play the role of the host, asking the questions.
And I will play the role of the guest, using the constraints from the source, short answers, and the present simple tense.
Okay, listen closely to the rhythm and the words here. Ready? Good morning. What time do you wake up?
I wake up at 7 a.m.
Nice. What do you do first?
First, I brush my teeth.
Great. Do you drink coffee?
Yes, I drink coffee every morning.
How do you feel after your routine?
I feel good. I feel ready.
That's wonderful. Do you practice English?
Yes, I practice English for 10 minutes.
Amazing. Small steps every day.
Yes, every day I feel more confident.
And seen. That was great. It felt very natural, even though it was incredibly simple.
That is the beauty of it. Did you notice the positive reinforcement during that?
Yes, I found myself saying nice and great and amazing.
The dialogue behavior guide highlights this exactly. Phrases like, that's great and good job, create emotional safety.
Emotional safety. That is so important when you are learning something new. You need to feel safe to speak. If you try to say a complicated sentence and stumble, the other person might look confused.
And that breaks the safety immediately.
Exactly. But because the answers were short and clear, I feel good, I feel ready, the connection was instant.
And look at the content of those answers. They express a real, genuine feeling. I feel ready. That is a profound state of being, expressed in just 3 words.
And the final line, every day, I feel more confident. That really sums up the whole mission of this deep dive. It connects the daily action, waking up, brushing teeth directly to the emotional result, which is confidence.
So I want to ask everyone listening a question now. What stands out to you in that dialogue?
Yeah, think about it.
Maybe it was the simplicity. Maybe it was the positivity. Take a moment to think about your own answers. What time do you wake up? Do you drink coffee?
You can answer those questions right now, in your head or even out loud. I wake up at, I drink, wait.
And remember the rule from the source. Small steps are okay. You don't have to impress anyone. You just have to be true.
Before we wrap up, let's look at the topic knowledge source one more time. It mentions that some people read or listen to music.
Yes, some people read or listen to music. The routine can be different for everyone, but the structure is exactly the same. Wake up. Do a habit. Feel calm.
It really is a formula for success. A formula that just strips away all the noise.
A simple formula. And that is exactly why it works. Complexity breaks under stress. Simplicity holds up.
So let's recap our journey today. We started in the morning.
We woke up. We defined it to stop sleeping. We grounded ourselves in reality.
We brushed our teeth and took a shower.
We learned that this repetition makes us feel calm and in control.
We had breakfast and coffee to get energy.
Using the present simple tense, I drink coffee. We affirmed our identity as people who have a routine,
We stretched our bodies and planned our days.
creating a positive mind and reducing decision fatigue.
And finally, we practiced English to build confidence.
Because confidence comes from habit. It comes from the accumulation of small wins.
It's amazing how much we covered just by looking at a simple routine. We basically deconstructed the psychology of self-esteem using only A2 level vocabulary.
It really is powerful. And I think it is time for the final message from our source material. It is a motivational message for everyone listening.
Let's hear it.
The source says, you can do it. Practice every day.
Short and sweet. You can do it.
And remember, simple English is good English. You do not need to be perfect. You just need to practice. The goal is communication, not complexity.
That is such a good reminder. I think we often forget that communication is really just about connecting. And you can connect deeply with very simple words.
Absolutely. Sometimes simple words connect better because there is no barrier.
Well, here's a thought to leave you with. We talked about how a routine makes you feel in control of your day. The source says, when you do the same good habits every day, you feel more in control.
Yes, it creates a predictable world in a very unpredictable life.
So here is the question. If a simple morning routine makes you feel in control of your day, how might a simple English routine make you feel in control of your life?
That is a profound question. Language is how we navigate the world. It's how we ask for what we need, how we express how we feel.
Exactly. If you can describe your day, you own your day. If you can say, I plan, then you are the planner. You are the protagonist of your own story.
And if you can say, I practice, you are a learner. You are growing. You are taking the steering wheel.
So tomorrow morning, when you wake up maybe at 7 a.m., maybe earlier, try it. Don't just stumble to the coffee pot. Say these sentences to yourself. I wake up, I brush my teeth. I feel good.
See how it changes your morning. See if it brings that smile. See if it gives you that little spark of, I can do this.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the power of simple habits. It's been an absolute pleasure unpacking this with you.
It has been wonderful. Keep practicing, everyone.
Small habits help a lot. See you next time.